Hi, I'm Alex at HT Labels, and I'm going to talk to you about 5 things you should consider when purchasing a label printer. So number 1, what product is your label going on? Okay, it sounds obvious, but you may come to us and say, I want this specific colour printer. You can test, some generic samples, what have you. That's great. You like the look of it? Brilliant. But if your product is a shower gel, then it really limits you as to what kind of printer you can go for. So by thinking about what product you're starting with, it will probably narrow down the printer you need quite quickly, to be honest. So say, for example, with a shower gel, you're going to need a durable print. So there's probably only a handful of printers that can really produce you a colour durable label. So yeah, making sure you know where you want to end up is probably the best place to start. Right, so that brings us on to number 2. Durability, your durability of print. There are 3 print types really with label printers. You've got toner based, inkjet printable, or thermal printers. Thermal, really simple, single colour black, so for informative labels, maybe ingredients labels or shipping labels and so on. Low cost, very fast, pretty durable. Toner based, a lot more durable, so there's no liquid involved, but can be more expensive cost per print. And then inkjet, probably the best quality print, but you can have issues with durability. Pigment inks are better, but it's still always important to test. So label durability, if you need that durability or you don't, is really important to work out. So I would recommend any printer you're about to purchase, you get samples, and ideally samples of your artwork, so you can see exactly what you're going to be getting, what it looks like, and how well the label holds up. 3, quantity. So the quantity of labels you're printing is very important and plays a huge part in deciding or helping you decide which printer is right for you. For example, this is the Affinia L301, great printer. To produce a one-off label or a handful of labels, the quality is good as pretty much anything out there. For £1,200, if you were to look at that, you'd say, okay, well, perfect, £1,200 gets me exactly what I want. But if you're doing thousands of labels, there's other things to take into consideration. So this is a very slow printer. The cost per print is high. So fine if you're doing 50 of this, 20 of that. But if you're doing 1,000 of this and then 1,500 of that, you really need to look at something like the L801 and L901 that have much lower cost per print. The servicing is much easier. The speed is 6 or 12 inches per second. So straight away, don't be fooled by the sample looks great, price looks amazing. It still needs to be the right printer for you, not just price wise, but across the board. So number 4, label application. So how is your label going to be applied? How your label goes through the printer can play a big part on which printer is right for you. For example, if your label is 8 inches by 8 inches, you're going to need a printer that can print wider than 8 inches. But if your label's 2 inches by 12 inches in width, people think, well, being the correct way up, your label's 12 inches wide. But actually, if you print on its side, it's 2 inches wide. So you will only need a printer that can deal with a 2-inch width. So thinking about your label orientation might allow you to get a narrower printer and still print wide labels. Thinking about applicators, or you might print multiple labels across if you're hand applying. So there's all these sort of tricks that we can do to get the most out of your printer, your print speed, spreading, you're making the most of your maximum width. Say on a fixed print head, you might as well print as wide as you can. So there's lots of things to consider when thinking about your label orientation. Right then, number 5, and probably the most important and overlooked consideration, is cost per print. For example, this is a £1,200 L301, as I've said. If the cost per print on this is 5 times or 10 times more than, say, the L801, then very quickly this becomes a more expensive purchase than the more expensive L801. A 2p label is now cost you 10p or 20p per print. So if you're doing thousands of labels, it's not very long before the costs add up. With any label printer you're thinking of buying, ensure you get, or you can work out, your cost per print in ink. Because even though this printer and say the L801, the quality side by side look the same, The later one might be £6,000. This is a £1,200 printer. So you think straight away, well, if they look the same, and this is a £1,200 printer, I'm quid in, saving a fortune. But if the cost per print is 5 times or 10 times the amount, let's say you don't have to do a lot of labels before the money stacks up. And ultimately, this is a way more expensive printer. So these are the kind of things we would like to go through with you. We would always get your artwork and print you samples across the range of printers so you can really get a true cost of ownership. And that's the only way you can really decide on which printer will be right for you. For more advice on getting the right label printer for you, samples, demonstrations, please get in touch at hdlabels.co.uk. Thanks for watching.